Hey, what's happening, people? Today we're gonna go over a super versatile lighting setup. We are taking some portraits with Lydia today again, and I'm using a deep Octa, the 28-inch deep Octa, and I have an AD600 as my main light with the extension flash tube head. Also, I have an AD300 outdoors with a bare flash, just to create some more separation from the background and like an edge light, but it's a very low settings. This lighting setup is almost foolproof. If you have anywhere 24 to 36 inch Octa and you have it 3-4 feet from your subject face, make sure you feather it. It doesn't, the center of the box doesn't go to the face of your subject. And you just have to make sure that you get the right exposure, which you can do it with a light meter, which I totally recommend to have one as a photographer. If not, you're gonna start on the lower settings and you just increase it. And you gotta watch your histogram to make sure that nothing gets burned out. The main light is above Lydia's head, maybe like 1 foot. The center of the box is going in front of her. I'm feathering the light, and I'm just trying to illuminate her with just with the edge of the light to be nice and soft. And I'm trying to wash the light across her body to get some nice light pattern on her dress. Also, because the weather is kind of changing too fast today, we are doing an indoor-outdoor shoot. I just opened the doors. I have her at the edge of the door jamb here, and trying to mix the ambient with the indoors. Also, we are lucky because the ambient is pretty low right now, and I can balance it very well. But because the background is very busy, I have to shoot at f2.8 just to create more separation, and I have to start establishing my exposure first. In a situation like this, when we have white drapes and a super bright yellow dress, I have to pay attention to don't burn the highlights. Also, I need to make sure that my main light don't gonna spill on the background too much, so we don't gonna increase the exposure value of the drapes, so all gonna be overexposed. And for that reason, I'm gonna use my light meter just to take an exposure reading from Lydia's face and make sure that it's 2.8. So for this shooting, I have my main flash at 32 power and my background light, the AD300 at 128 power. I keep the power super low because this way the flash is gonna recycle faster, and I keep shooting with no constraint. I'm gonna make sure first I'm gonna meter and expose the background correctly. Surprisingly, it's below my 100 shutter speed at 2.8 to expose the background correctly. I don't want to get it too dark, because what happened, the background is too dark and Lydia's hair is dark too, and they will be hard to separate. If I increase the separation light behind her, I'm gonna start spilling in the white curtains and I'm gonna burn it out. And I just have to make sure that my background is a little bit lower in tone than Lydia's hair, and I can have a separation shooting at 2.8. You have to compromise sometimes in a situation like this, but here we go. We gotta make sure that we make the most of it. Now he's sitting on a chair, and I lower a little bit the light. If she's standing up, I just gonna raise it up a little bit more. I am keeping the softbox maybe like 3-4 feet from her face, very close. I just want to be out of frame, but as close as possible. I have the inner and outer diffusion on the softbox, so I want to make sure that the light is super soft and diffused.
I go anywhere with you, 'cause you fill my mind, or you fill my mind. We could build a dream, start up something new, let the old be dead, let the shadows leave my head. When the world is on your shoulders and you feel like falling over, just come a little closer. I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you, 'cause when we are together, I know you feel the tension. Just let me in your head so I can be there for you, there for you. The night is young, won't you
For the shoot, I'm using the Canon R5 with the 7200. I'm using 7200 even it's not too much room here because I want to do some compression. I want to make sure that I have a separation from the background, and I need to shoot at a longer focal length. That is one of the tricks of the trade, because the wider the lens, you know, the more it's harder to separate it from the background. And I can use the 85 1.2, but I think it's too shallow for a portrait work like this, and 2.8 is cutting edge. I think like 3.2 or f4 will be better, but right now, because I have a busy background, I'm shooting at 2.8 with the 7200 Canon R5. I think the most difficult thing in flash photography and photography in general is just to get the exposure right. Especially when you have to add the flash to the equation, it's a little bit more difficult. If you don't have a light meter, it is a little bit harder. It's not impossible, just learn how to expose your ambient first correctly, and after that you're just gonna dial in the flash in small increments. Always take notes and check later on the computer, in your Photoshop or Lightroom, whatever you guys are using. You gotta keep some notes to see how your camera reads the output, and you gotta see later on the computer to make sure that whatever camera tells you, the exposure is right. Also, don't forget when the camera meter is a reflective meter, so it reads the light reflecting from your subject. For this photo shoot, we had these white curtains and the yellow dress, and any reflective meter in the camera are going to be fooled a little bit. We're going to try to underexpose the image, because the reflective meter in your camera is trying to make everything 18% gray, and the right target. But you have to get these nuances, and you gotta know your limitation of your camera, and you gotta learn how to compensate your exposure, especially when you use flash, to get the right exposure on your final pictures. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please check out my channel for more lighting tutorials and gear review. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
I go anywhere with you, 'cause you fill my